Welcome back. You're now tuned into the other side. The other side of sports is your host, Laws in the building. We in here. It's me. It's Aaron. We rocking out. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today, Aaron. We got a lot of stuff. I'm trying to figure out, do I go into the question of the day? Because it's a scenario, Joe, and I really don't know what to do. And this I'm not gonna say no names, but this joint, I'm concerned for my I'm concerned, bro. I'm concerned. All right, so this is the situation though. Uh, I'm trying to be careful. I don't say too much. It's a joint that works with somebody I know. He been working with the joint for a while, maybe about like 6 months or so. The joint is 47 and he's 33. The joint got 3 kids, but her kids are older. So she got a son that's like 19, a daughter that's like 20, 22 or 23, and then another daughter that's like 26, something like that. Mind you, he's 33 and he messing with the joint. The family got a
You
lot
say
of
he messing
dysfunction.
with the coworker?
Yeah, the coworker that's 47 who has 3 kids, he's messing with the joint. And the Bama is like staying over the joint 3 nights. Mind you, 2 of her kids live with her still in the house, and they got like one of the daughters has a kid, so she has grandkids and her kids in the house. And the dude I know is talking to the joint, and he's telling me all the situation about the joint, and
Wait,
I'm
wait, wait,
like,
wait. What you mean talking to the joint? Like he dating the joint, or it's like when you bored at work?
no.
That's
Let me put it in context though. He not he's 33, but he really like 25. He ain't really lived life yet. Like he's a little bit behind. Like I don't say been coddled, but he a little bit behind the curve. Like by the time we was 33, dog, we was adulting for real. You know what I'm saying? Like it was different. He not at that stage. So the way he talking, I think he might be lost in the sauce, though.
is he used to moving and shaking, or this like when his
No,
first
no,
go
he's
around?
not a move and
Uh,
shaker like that. He
so he in the vortex.
I think so, dog. And the joint older, so she done sprinkle the salt. And I try to tell him like, dog, these old joints, they just gonna get what
Stay
they can
away from.
get. It's gonna the dog, if it's past, I know it's some old heads out there, but past 40, it just it's something wrong there. It's something going on. Seriously going on. So you got to be careful, dog. It's like putting a boa constrictor around your neck, dog. It might choke your life out of you if you're not careful, bro. You can't earn. What should he do, dog? I don't know what it like. I think he beyond words where you can talk to him and like
There's nothing you could do to snatch a bam out the vortex if he don't have other options. If this really all he got and he not used to like replacing stuff, dog, there's nothing you can do.
yeah, bro. I'm like, dog, come on, bro. You gotta shake out of it,
You
dog.
gotta let him crash and
This
burn.
joint gonna ruin your life, bro.
At least he young enough to to shake back after the crash and burn, but he got crash and burn.
Dog, but dog, you getting up there, dog. How long you gonna crash and burn?
It depends on how much money he got.
I don't know if
If
it's
you got the
Fetty. I
bread,
don't
you
know
could
if
be
it's
outside forever.
I don't know if it's Fetty Wap like that, dog. I don't know. I don't know, bro.
So what you tell? Or you just watching, trying to mind your business and not say too much?
I I'm just at yeah, dog. Cause matters of the heart, bro. Bama's get to arguing with you and everything, dog.
You be on the outside looking at it.
Hey, I'm like, gotta learn the hard way, dog. Gotta learn the hard
You
way.
can't do it.
Oh,
Can't do it.
all right, on to some sports. Earn. This is the last time I said I'm talking about these Bamas. For the next, at least this whole year, I'm not talking about these Bamas at all. Washington Wizards, dog. They went in the draft. They got Trey Johnson. Then they turn around and got a scrub. That's what I'm calling them. What are your thoughts on the draft, dog, and the Washington Wizards? Then I hear they trying to get Damian Lillard, and I'm seeing stuff.
Now, if they get Damian Lillard, that's something. I'm not gonna act like the bat was a straight bum. He injured coming off what is it, Achilles tear, which is a devastating injury, especially when you got to change direction. You know what I mean, that kind of stuff. But the unwatchable Bammers they had on the floor before, Dame is not one of those guys. Like he has some draw power where the Bama's gonna end up being sorry, but at least the first couple weeks of the season, Bama's will show up to see what it looked like with Dame in the Wizards uniform. Because the Bama's they was trotting out there last year, no chance. But as far as the draft goes, I was disappointed Utah took Ace Bailey. It looked like, for a second like he was going to fall to the Wizards, which, even though they didn't end up with Cooper Flag, it would have been nice to have, a guy who people were considering early in the year would probably be the number one or number two pick. But the guy they got, everybody keeps saying positive things about. I didn't watch a whole lot of college basketball. What I do know is he could score the rock. Bama averaged 19.5. And I always like basketball, you got to score the
Hey,
rock.
that's it. That's it.
You're
I
not talking
like
about
Trey.
defensive
I like Trey.
specialists. He could shoot the rock too. I like shooters. Like, so if the Bama could fill up the basket, I'm gonna give him a chance.
So I like Trey. I think he was a good pick. I had no problem with that pick, honestly.
Are they
Like, I
gonna play
mean,
him though? Because they got a bunch of guards, and we got an idiot for a coach, and you can't always trust whatever the
no, these
process.
Bamas they don't. That's the thing. Like, I know some people were like, oh yeah, like you gotta give him a chance because they picked the dude Wiley or whatever the Bama is in like later in the first when they should have just stuck with
The
Clayton
Bama from
Jr.
Florida.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they should have just
I
stuck with
got a
him.
little
To
bit
me,
excited when they took him. Like,
I
okay,
did
like
too. I said, okay, we turning a new
another joker
leaf.
that can get a bucket.
The Bama can get a bucket, and he got leadership qualities, and he kind of carried the Florida team on his back. And the Bama, like, I mean, I get it. It don't always translate, but like, there's certain things that can get you excited about the team, and instead they get this other Bama who we ain't even heard nothing, who didn't even start in college, dog. I'm like,
It's
come on, bro,
crazy in the
it's
first round.
ridiculous to me. And you know what? I got to thinking, Aaron. I was like, I'm always so critical of the team. I'm always like, what's the problem? And some people will be like, you know, they're trying to tank and this is a plan. I'm like, no. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear that.
The plan failed if you tank and get the sixth pick. That's a failure.
Dog. Trash. It's a fact. First of all, it's a failure if you're trying to convince me because these Washington Wizards fans, I'm in a group chat with Wizards fans. I almost had to I just had to get out of the drink because these Bammers are delusional. They're like, well, Will Dawkins is drafting good, like he's drafting good players, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dog, they can't be that good, Aaron. You win only 18 games last year, they can't be that good. I'm just look, if they that good, Bama's would get W's. I mean, granted, they got sorry coach, they need to get him out of here. But to me, their problem is being able to so some people are like, well, what should they have done? Right. So I'm here. This is the solution. I'm coming with the solution. Not just being critical. I'm coming with the solution. First of all, last year they shouldn't have drafted Sarr in the other Bama if they didn't think that they was going to really move the needle. That's the first thing. Everybody and their mother knew that this was the draft that you wanted to have draft capital in to be able to move and shake and get players. This is the draft you should have been stockpiling up for to be able to like one off season change over your whole roster. Because clearly it wouldn't have made a difference anyway. You drafted Bama's and still only won 18 games. So you should have just stockpiled for this year. That aside, the problem with the Wizards, they need somebody who knows how to evaluate talent. And I thought about it, Aaron, and I was like, you know who could they could benefit from? They need a Patrick Beverly on their staff, dog. They need a Patrick Beverly on their staff to help them evaluate talent and see what players that they need to draft and bring onto the team, dog. Because this Bama been around all the greats. He played with LeBron. This Bama, the list of Bamas he played with James Harden, LeBron. He played with Kawhi.
Your boy.
He played with Anthony Edwards, Shai, SGA, Russell Westbrook, Zach, DeMar DeRozan, like Alex Caruso, Joel Embiid. This Bama played with everybody, dog. So Anthony Davis, LeBron, like, so if you need somebody who to be able to concede, granted, I don't know personally. I just watched him on his podcast and hear him talk about players and different things, and and be able to identify certain markers that can be a catalyst to getting one of them ones, dog. And granted, every year teams find one of them ones, dog. I mean, teams do it. So I'm like, how can we get one of them ones, Aaron? That's what I want. I just want one of them ones. Now, I like Bud Carrington. I think he has the ability to kind of progress into something better or more. But like Alex Saad, maybe Trey Johnson, I'm actually highest on him because looking at his game tape in college and seeing, like, I'm like, oh yeah, he can get buckets, dog. He can get buckets. But I know why they try to move. They moved Jordan Poole, and then they brought in CJ McCullough and these older dudes, and like they just gonna try to just get their contracts off the books. And but to do what, dog? To try to acquire a 41-year-old LeBron James and his two sons. Like, what y'all gonna do with the money? Like, yeah, I'm defeated, bro. I'm defeated. These jokers just don't have a plan, Aaron. Do you think they got a plan?
It doesn't look like. Well, they did have a plan, but it didn't work. It failed.
That's the stupidest plan I ever heard of in my life, dog.
And they got to get rid of the lottery. It's like when you got these untrustworthy Bamas already in charge of the NBA, and they pulling these little moves and think people are idiots that they constantly doing, where it's like, okay, Cleveland lose LeBron, then they get the number one pick like 2 years in a row, and then all of a sudden the Dallas Mavericks lose Luka, and then they get the number one pick when they had a 1.8% chance. It's foolishness. Like, they got to just go back to just like the NFL. So there's a little bit of parity. The worst team get the top pick, and just, if people want to tank on their own, fine them. But this way of trying to control it is doing nothing but create more skepticism. It's WWE. It's wrestling.
It's wrestling, dog. What my man B Titty say? They betting. They betting on everything, dog. Give it a break. This joint is a whole scam, dog.
And they trying to just direct where the talent goes.
No
like
bets
Alabama.
allowed.
Yeah. It's like college. Like, you just directing all of the talent instead of just, if you want there to be parity, if you want fans all around the league to come back in it and not just be involved when it's like the Lakers or the Knicks, like, you got to give Bama's a chance. And right now they don't have a chance.
They don't have a chance, bro. They don't have a chance. Yeah. Milwaukee, they dropped Dame Dollar. They cut him. They signed Miles Turner. I don't think Miles Turner moved the needle for me. I know they're trying to pull out all the stops to show in good faith that they're trying to build this roster to make it championship worthy for Giannis while they still have a window to go after a championship. But bro, I just think it's all for nothing because the East is wide open, but the moves didn't move the needle for me, Ern. Is that enough? I mean, I know you had it. I know you have Dame Dollar contract that you're trying to like shed off so you have a little more capital to go after free agents that can contribute right away because he's not going to be able to provide any support, out the gate. But is it really helping the team get in a position to chase a ring?
They're
Don't
not
it
going to get
don't
no wins no time soon. So that's a waste. That's not
so
even
what?
part of the conversation. So it's like,
Cannot
what is
win
the
with him.
goal? Is the goal to like get a couple fans in the seats, make the game somewhat watchable, try to chase a ninth seed to get a play-in game or something like that? Like, it depends on what the goal is. They're not going to win a championship because they don't have a guy or a second guy.
If you Giannis, what you doing? You out of there. I'm out of there. If I'm Giannis, I'm out of there, bro. The best thing they could have did was try to get his brother back and just have him be happy with his family again. Like,
He
yo,
already, oh, he already brought a championship to Milwaukee. Like,
he did.
you're not bringing two championships to Milwaukee. Go somewhere else or the bigger market where Bama's can actually see Giannis play, see how vicious the Bama is. He could be on more prime time game, but you just wasting away. You are. It's like LeBron going back to Cleveland. You brought them Bama to a ring that go somewhere else. Like you did the impossible. Move on.
Yeah. No, I think he will when it's all said and done. He will be out of there. Um, I just think that they're just kicking the can down the road, and yeah, I
This
just
is
don't
something that
think.
should have been done before the draft, though. Like
Yeah,
it's a waste. It should have been done before the draft
it should have. It should have. And you probably could have moved him and did all that. But
and
like
got
you
value
trying to,
back.
it's just like when you dating a drink, the relationship is over, but you still coming in the house like, all right, like let's go ahead and get something to eat. You know what I'm saying? You just going through the motions, bro. The drink is ended. It's over. Bama already. I remember one time I was dating a drink, and I just remember like I just woke up in the middle of the night and I just looked over and I was like, this joint over, dog. I tapped Slim. I said, "Hey, wake up."
In the middle of the night, you woke her up to tell her it's over.
She said, "What's up?" I said, "I'm about to go home." She's like, "Why?"
Oh, you was at her drink.
Yeah, I was like, "I'm going home."
I
She's
wouldn't even
like,
woke her up. I'd have just snuck out of that
"Why?"
drink like
I
Santa
was
Claus.
like, "Cause this joint over. This joint over." She was like, "Huh?" This joint was so hurt too, dog. But dog, I already knew the joint was over. I'm not like, why I'm going why I'm going to juggle and play with your heart if I know the joint over, dog. It's skedaddle. I'm out of here. I'm out of here, bro. So yeah, all this extra, they trying to get pieces and stuff. Like the Bama gone, dog. He gonna be in the Clippers or somewhere. He out of there. It's just the inevitable. It's nothing y'all could do. If he want a chance to win a championship, it's too hard to try to build it with all these constraints. You gotta go to a team that already ready made where you could just show up and play and take the pressure off. Golden State is a nice little destination. They always trying to get the new shiny toy and bring it in. Maybe that's where you at, because I know Steph Curry career kind of dwindling down, but he can still get buckets. You know what I'm saying? So you need that. Build a little old head super team and then be good. Be good. So I don't know. That's that. That's that. Uh let's I know we've been talking about the joint. It's looking more and more, and I don't want to speculate, but it's looking closer and closer. Like the Washington Commanders are really about to ship Terry McLaurin out of here, though. I'm getting that sentiment because one, I'm seeing all these articles that are like popping up and like, destinations where Terry McLaurin could be and all of this stuff. And the fact that it's been mute. Nobody's really been talking about what's going on with this contract. And I think in these type of situations, the longer you wait, the worse it gets. Like the longer we wait, I feel like it's not going to be no good news that comes on the other side of that rainbow. Like it's about to be Terry McLaurin's traded for some defensive pieces or whatever, whatever. What do you think? What do you think is going to happen, Aaron?
I mean, I think they can't afford to move him. They can't afford any of the foolishness that comes with anything other than getting the Bama signed before training camp. We got like 2 weeks left. They just got to figure it out because you can't have Jaden going into his second year and get rid of his best weapon, who for a lot of time during last year was the only weapon he had. Um, you just can't do it. You don't have a replacement, and you talk about not having a plan. Like, I just don't want to see them try to go into the season with Debo as it just doesn't make sense. You already need a wide receiver help, and you get rid of the best receiver you had after bringing in a guy who is not as good as him, who you're paying more money. So they got to figure out a way to sign him, or this is going to become a thing.
Do you think there's a possibility? Some people are talking about J.J. Watt over the Steelers, and he wanting a contract, and then they could potentially like swap those two, but you would end up having to pay T.J. Watt. So
Right.
it's like
They're the same age. So what you say?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Now the Steelers did make a move this week, and they traded for Jalen Ramsey, Minka Fitzpatrick for Jalen Ramsey. The Steelers secondary is looking pretty good.
Yeah, they got Slay. Who the other Bama they
got?
They got like 3 guys.
Yeah, they got a little bit of a squad. I mean, they're older, but I mean, Tomlin's teams they know to play tough defense. So, yeah, I don't know. I get it. They, I don't know. Maybe they saw something in Terry that they just is a sign that he about to hit a wall.
I don't think it's that. And it's kind of hard to follow because with other kinds of guys, stuff gets leaked. But because they would be annihilated if they tried to like leak stuff about Terry because he does everything the right way and always has.
Well, you wouldn't want to do. You wouldn't want to try to destroy his value anyway. Like he ain't no Rob Pelinka. Like that.
Right. So because of that, we don't have any information, and we just making stuff up based on there not being information. So, like to me, again, it's an impossible move to try to not have him on this roster come week 1. So I'm assuming, even though this should have been done, that it'll get done by the time training camp start, or at least partway in the training camp. They got to find a way to get it done. So we just making stuff up, to be honest, because there's no information been leaked. They're not saying. Usually they say, "Oh, he want 41," and you know what I mean. Like there would be some information that got leaked out about what Terry wants or what's going on, or saying like he hit a wall or he's not doing this and that. You know how they do, and there's just no information, which is a good thing. Because this is a different kind of regime than what's been here. All of the details would have been out and it would have been impossible to move forward. But at this point, you cannot not have him on the roster.
I'm feeling like more and more this is likelihood he won't be on the roster. I feel like this was an open and shut case for me, and the joint should have just been inked a month ago. And we shouldn't even be talking about it. But the fact that we are, it kind of indicates to me that these Bama's is on the phone trying to like wheel and deal and see what they can get. So I mean, we're gonna watch it. Darren Waller came back to the NFL. Bama's retired.
The Skin should have kicked the tires on that. They
definitely. They probably didn't know he was available, dog.
You got to turn over all stones. You asked.
He got to turn. Yeah, Bama been
Miami. Yeah,
Miami was like, "Oh yeah, we can use it," but but Miami they got tight.
They traded Jonnu Smith to the Steelers too. He would steal.
Oh yeah. Dang, yeah. I guess they was looking at their offense was like, we need something. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's wild. Chances Shador starts week 1. What percentage you put on that, Aaron?
0.
0 chance. If you go out that joint and kill in the preseason and training camp. He not starting.
No.
What's the earliest he can start?
Um,
Who they gonna start, Aaron? They gonna start
Kenny Pickett.
Flacco, Kenny Pickett, the small hand bandit.
Yep.
No, you can't win no games with Kenny Pickett, Aaron. You
They're
and
not
I
trying to
both
win
know
games,
that.
period. Or they would have took Shador in the first round.
You right. They never trying to win, dog. These coaches is that they just terrible.
They just want to keep a job, though. They want to go to work.
So you say 3 weeks. I mean, you saying he not gonna start
Week 1, he's
week,
not starting. It's no chance.
week
It
1.
doesn't matter how good he plays. He's not starting.
So hold on. You say it don't matter how good he plays?
It doesn't matter because I'm expecting him to play well. I'm not saying that like, oh, he's not going to
Okay.
play well because he's a rookie. I expect him to cook. He's the best quarterback on the roster, but he's not going to play week 1.
You said WME ain't gonna allow it to happen.
Not going to happen.
Dog, what we say the owner got to step in, bro.
Yeah, exactly. But he's not going to step in that early.
He's not gonna step in before week 1.
He can be like, okay, he do the same way we would do. Like, all right, y'all know it all. Go ahead, try out who you want. But when you out there during after 6 weeks and you 2-4, it's like, all right, now an adult got to come in and make some decisions around here. Why should I not play? We can't win with you're not winning now. Put him in the game.
Yeah, that's the thing, dog. I want to see my man get a fair shake, dog. I just don't want to see him get sabotaged.
I think starting week 1 would be sabotage. But when you
think so?
Yeah, because the schedule's brutal.
Who the Browns play week 1? That's what I need to see. That's what we need to see. Browns week 1. What? Oh, nah. Okay. First, Bengals.
That's preseason.
Bengals, you can play against the Bengals. They defense is easy bake oven. That ain't no defense I'm scared of. I'm like, oh, Shador, I don't want to put him out there. Like the Bengals gonna put up 40, but you can get 27 points out of Shador.
But this is the part you're not seeing though. Like the Ravens, you let him play against the Bengals, then he got to play against the Ravens, Packers, and Lions.
Oh my
gosh, you can't take him out.
Head mop.
You can't play him in the Bengals game and take him out and put him back in week 5 or 6. You got to let him. So like you let Pickett take them L's.
So you're gonna put Pickett in, let him go against the Bengals, lose, go against the Ravens, lose. Go against the Packers, lose. Go against the Lions, lose. Go against the Vikings, lose. And then the Steelers, that's an L too.
But at that point, you what 0-5? Now the clamoring for Shador is getting crazy.
Now, first of all, hold on, Aaron. It's gonna be crazy week 1.
No, it is.
It's crazy now. Dog, I'm hearing pundits on TV, analysts like, dog, they gotta play this kid. Like
even people that hated on him.
That's what I'm saying. They gotta reverse pivot. Week 1 gonna be insane. Dog, these Batman's gonna be chanting Shador in the state. Hold on, let me see what the first home game. Is it home game versus Bengals? No, it's a home game. They're gonna be chanting Shador name in the stadium, Aaron. But you know that only make them madder.
Right. They're just gonna prove their point even harder.
They just dig their heels in when
they gonna wait till they down 40 and put them in the game to run
QB option. They gonna
halfback off
tackle. That's what I'm saying. They're gonna have this back already. No. Yeah, bro. I just don't think Stefanski, he want to keep his job.
The owner made him take him. He didn't want him.
But this is the thing, though, Aaron. Sometimes, like you gotta think about it like this. Bama's love it when they can think about last year with Jaden Daniels, right? Now, I know it's a little bit of a different circumstance because Jaden went number 2, but when Jaden was cooking, dog, Bama's is just like it just turned the whole franchise over, bro. Like the excitement, the like hope.
This ain't that though. Like Jaden is he had the best rookie season of in the history of the NFL. We cannot compare anything to that. Even the expectation of the bar being half of that for Shador is going to set this Bama up for failure. Let Kenny Pickett or Flacco go take them L's against those early teams, get beat up, build up the fanfare for it's just going to build Shador's like superstar and aura even more. Just sitting on the bench, watching these other Bamas get clobbered out there and get destroyed, being 0-5. It's just going to build, I think, a better cushion for him to be able to go out there and make some mistakes, be a rookie, and still be better than everybody else in it. Now, if Deshaun is back, that's a whole nother story because they talking about that Bama going to be ready to practice in October. Mm-hmm. But let them other Bamas go out there and take the L's.
So look, there was this article that came out. This is the Sports Illustrated article joint. It's entitled "Analyst Hints at Dissension Between Cleveland Browns Coach and GM."
Of course.
So this joint, it says Cleveland Browns made a rather awkward decision in the NFL draft, opting to take quarterback Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd round, well before it was expected to fly off the board. Then 2 rounds later, Browns took Shador Sanders. Well, Cleveland's talk show host Garrett Bush hinted at what he thinks may be behind all of this in recent episode of the Barbershop, stating that he feels the head coach Kevin Stefanski specifically wanted to develop Gabriel, while general manager Andrew Berry may be hoping to punt to 2026 to find an answer under center. I think Kevin Stefanski picked Dylan Gabriel. There you go, Bush said. So now, guess what? You're at a standstill, so to speak, right? Because now, all of a sudden, Andrew Berry is banking on the fact that we're not going to be good next year. I'm trading these picks, and I'm going to get me Arch Manning. That's my move. Then Stefanski's like, I'm going to get my own quarterback and show you what I can do with that quarterback.
And that makes perfect sense because, these coaches pick these guys that they.
Oh, I don't know why these Bamas pick these. Listen, Aaron, we watch tape every single year. We analyze the quarterbacks. We go through like who has it, who's most accurate, and usually we stop like at the top 5. Like we don't really go into like top 10 and 25 quarterbacks. Where do we go? We just do the top 5 Bamas and just leave it at that. Dylan Gabriel was not in my top 5, Aaron,
and wouldn't have been in your top 10.
I'm just saying, like I'm trying to figure out what kind of tape they're looking at to make them be like confuse their eyes to be like, oh yeah, this guy, we can win with this guy. This Bama's Ike Bite, Aaron. He's Ike Bite. The Bama got a decent arm, but he don't show like off the charts awareness and like it wasn't like he was running pro offense and like nothing exceptional, dog. He's a regular schmegular type Bama, dog. And I'm just short of calling him trash. Big fella. I'm just short of calling him trash. But come on now Shador is being put into this whole equation where the Bama didn't want him, and then they got the coach got his guy, and he want to help his guy get the and it just, but they said it's an open competition though. So
but they're liars, and they're all liars. He'll be without a job halfway through the season if he want to prove a point. Because this is not his first year coaching it. They've been trash. He was coaching them into a top pick to be able to take whoever they took. What was it? Second? No, Jags had second pick, but like they still pick like top 5.
Dog, if they go with Dylan Gabriel,
cannot win with him.
You cannot win. Like it's gonna be interesting. So let me ask this question, Aaron. If they go through the depth chart, let's say the last preseason game is over. Shador has an outstanding preseason situation, boom, boom, boom. And Shador is number 2 on the depth chart.
Right.
Right?
A rookie's going to be number 2 on the depth chart no matter how you want to cut it. It's either going to be Shador or Gabriel. And judging off what we know, Gabriel's not going to outplay Shador in the preseason.
No way, do that.
No how.
He's not going to do that. It's going to be interesting to see, dog. This is the most intriguing training camp, I think, in my lifetime, dog, that I wanted to see. Because even we had Jayden last year, but that Batman ain't really playing the preseason. They kind of hit him away a little bit. And then he played a couple little snaps here and there, but they kind of protected him. The Batman came out the gates cooking. I was like, oh my goodness, we got one. But we knew this joint. I want to see. I want to watch the whole training. Like I want to watch all the practices. I want to because everybody's watching this joint, though.
Yeah, this is gonna be amazing for the league because Batman's gonna be checking into Cleveland, who got nothing to do with Cleveland.
Nobody ever cared about Cleveland like this, bro. My family played for the Cleveland Browns, dog, and I wasn't even this invested. That Batman was on the team, and I only went to like 2 games. This Batman on the team. Now they got the door. I want to see everything. They're about to get the ticket and everything for these Batman. This joint crazy, bro.
They're gonna have primetime preseason games. You already know. That's gonna probably be the most watched preseason games is Cleveland Browns.
Dog, Browns, they play preseason joint August. First game is August 8th versus the Panthers.
Oh, that's like a month.
So it's only 3 preseason games. Which game did Shador start?
In the preseason?
Yeah.
All right, none of them.
What? No, he got to start, Aaron. He got to start. He going to be cooking in the training camp to the point where it's going to be
bury
so much,
him with reps.
It's going to be so much scrutiny, so many eyes and attention on the training camp that the funny business can't go down, bro.
Has it ever stopped Whitey before?
Dog, but it's the thing. If he's cooking, they gonna want the accolades that come with him cooking, dog. Just like everybody
the owner
think
wants
Dan
that. The head coach doesn't want that. The head coach wants his guy to win. And we all know we've seen coaches sabotage, whether it be play calling, personnel. They know how to like control within reason, like how stuff is going to look. Like you put guys in impossible situations, you making guys take snaps with the third team, and it's just you never get no snaps with the ones that throw them out there. You know what I mean? It's just they can control. We've seen it all the time, so we can't pretend like Shador is just so amazing. Like this Bama's Randy Moss, and no matter what coverage or what anything, he just gonna have success.
He's not. But what can he do, dog? Like
what
I feel like,
work.
But this, I'm saying, he's been working hard. He's been ingratiating himself into the locker room with the players.
Right.
Like that helps because it makes it harder for the coach to do the funny business when their team rock with you heavy. And then I mean, I'm not saying that the Bama guy started cool, but he got to get the Bamas to where like the leaders on the team, like the Myles Garrett's and stuff, like the Njokus and Bamas who got some say can be like, bro, what are we doing, bro? What are we doing?
But like football will take care of that. Like you don't. The good thing about football, we always talk about how simple it is. Mm-hmm. Like you don't have to come up with no E equals MC squared or no, like there's no formula you got to come up with to like trick the game. The Bamas they got on the roster, other than Shador, are trash. They play a crazy schedule in the beginning of the year. Like they're going to go get whopped, and people are going to be like clamoring for Shador to get in the game. And the owner like wants the attention. He wants to splash. He's like the junior version of Dan. So by midway through the season, he's gonna take care of that. If Shador
what game you putting them in? If you running the show,
I'm about to pull a schedule up now.
They got the Bengals, Ravens, Packers, Lions, Vikings, Steelers, Dolphins.
I'm putting them in
Patriots.
Week what's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Week 8 against the Patriots. Because then
you float. Patriots, Jets, Ravens. That's a tough game. But then you got Raiders, 49ers,
Titans trash.
It's gonna be the rookie versus rookie December. Yeah, you could probably go. You could probably win 6 games in that stretch. Let's say you see the Patriots. You can beat the Patriots.
All he got to do is show that he's better than the other guys on the roster.
That's true. He can beat the Patriots. He beat the Jets. Maybe the Raiders. Titans for sure. Bears 50-50. Bills no. Steelers. That's a divisional joint, so that could go anyway. And then Bengals. End of the year, it could go either way. So you can get 6 wins.
And at 6 wins, you're not picking high enough to get Arch Manning. So you should go into the offseason expecting Shador to be the starter and he'll let him get a full offseason with the ones and get the reps he needs. And then you can draft somebody else with
Do
that.
you bring Stefanski and the GM
No.
back?
No.
You fired him no matter what.
I'm firing him during the season.
You're not even getting to the end.
When Shador come in, the head coach is gone. I've determined you don't know who the best players on this team are because you trotted out Gabriel or Pickett or whoever played week 1 through 7.
No, it's such an indictment on your intelligence.
Yeah.
Man. Okay. All right. Shador for the win. Let's get it. Anything else going on in the sports world, bro? Other than Malik Beasley out here gambling.
That joint FanDuel got everybody.
No, FanDuel is this joint 20 years from now, that joint gonna come out as a Ponzi.
It's gonna be a 30 for 30
for
how that joint swept up half the league probably.
Dog, they're making billions of dollars, bro. Trillions. Cause these Bamas, dog, first of all, Malik Beasley, that Bama definitely, undoubtedly was gambling. Dog.
The way he hustled down to get that dunk in the last 5 seconds of the game to cover the spread,
did you see the joke where Giannis blocked his shot and the Bama just was so distraught? Like he was like, and Giannis was like taunting him a little bit. Bama was trying to fight Giannis, dog. I'm like, bro, what are you thinking? For 5 G's, you gonna risk millions? Make it make sense, Aaron. Dog, the thing is, if I'm gonna go down, I'm putting a house on it, dog. I'm not these little like it's a one and done situation.
They think they being slick by not like putting a rack on it. Like he probably put like 10 grand. That's probably what they doing. Make a little quick, easy 10.
But that's the thing. You in Detroit. Bama's ain't got 10 grand like that. You ain't in the nation's capital. You ain't in Arlington, Virginia.
You in Detroit.
You in Detroit.
Well, they selling houses for $1 if you.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's like being in Baltimore and they not buying it. As soon as your drink go up for more than 2,500, Bama's all the alarms go off like, we in Detroit? What? Looking at this. They got a Bama in a control room that just look at everything. He see all the best joints come up, pop up. I'm like, 100.
Oh, they're using AI to flag everything.
Everything,
AI is
bro.
Flagging it out the gate.
It's flagging everything, dog. These Bamas, the algorithms that these Bamas are using, NASA ain't even got these joints, dog.
NASA ain't got the budget these Bamas got.
That's what I'm saying. They print money essentially, dog. Hand over fist. Donations every day. Donations. Dog, they just, it's a whole Ponzi, bro. It's a whole Ponzi. And then these Bamas is in the drink. That's what I'm saying. You're going to get caught. I don't know why these Bamas think they're not going to get caught. You're getting caught, bro. Every time. The thing is, right now, what people don't realize is that they have access to everything through the phones, bro. Every single thing. Everything. So that drink, when you log in, whoever log in, the proximity, who people are close, dog, the joint's making the connections. And that's why once they flag them, then it's the investigation. Because the investigation is just to corroborate everything that they found. Like, oh yeah, we found this, we found that, we found this. Okay, yeah, this Bama was gambling. Let's look at these games. Let's go back and look at that game. See what he did. That Bama running, sprinting down the floor like Sonic the Hedgehog trying to score the Get him out of here, dog. Let this be a lesson to all these cheating, gambling Bamas, dog. A lot of them doing it, huh? The referees too. Yeah, so yeah, that's it. Is Diddy going to jail? How many years he about to do?
Yeah, free man. He about to get released.
I don't know,
They
Ern.
didn't prove the case. How you get a 1-man RICO, dog?
Dog, I don't know, Ern. I think he about to do like 15,
How? For
20.
what? What's the charge?
Dog,
Being a pervert?
they gave the Bama Tory Lanez 10 for a gun he ain't even bust off. They about to get this Bama, dog.
What's the charge though?
Dog, all charges, guilty. Rico, distributing to a minor, all everything, dog. Sex trafficking, everything, dog. They gonna get the man on everything, bro. They already said that the jury deliberated, and they already came to like conclusions on four out of the 5 counts, joint. And when they and
That mean not guilty.
well, the other report is that they got people in the jury joint that's not budging. That's what. So when Babbitt is standing on the square, I don't know, Aaron.
Not guilty.
I've been in them rooms before. I've been in the jury room as the foreman. Dog, it's a lot of dumb people out
They
here,
would put you as the foreman on the jury.
No, the thing is, so this is the thing. I'm gonna tell you about this little joke, quick story. When I went to the court, this is in PG County. It might have been like it might have like almost 10 years ago. It might be before I was married. Man, I don't know. It was a minute ago. So they had a domestic violence drink. Black dude, white girl. I was like, oh, as soon as I got to the jail,
they ready to ring that nigga.
I said, oh my goodness, bro. I said, why you messing with the bunny, bro? You going down today. So look, I'm at the top. I'm the only Bama dressed up. These Bamas in hood attire. Bama's just regular. I'm like, dog, we in court.
They trying to
like,
get out of jury duty. So
I'm
they
like,
showing up looking any
yeah,
kind of
Bama's looking any kind of way, dog. I'm in the drink. I mean, I might have had like a polo and a blazer on or something. I'm looking cool. I'm not all the way dressed up, not suit and tie, suited and booted joint, but I'm like, I'm dressed nice. So I'm sitting in the joint. He was like, that young man right there on the end dressed nice. We're gonna make him the foreman. I was like, oh, all right. So we get in there, we hear the all the case. I might have been living at your joint when I went to this joint. Matter of fact. And then I heard we heard all the joints to the case. I'm like, dog, Bama, this is inconclusive evidence. This joint is not enough to convict the man, right? Dog, it was some Bamas in the joint saying guilty. I'm like, under what basis? They like the photo. I'm like, bro, I'm like, so we ain't got the HD 4K 3 cameras on the back phone joints like we got now, Aaron. This is still the grainy era. Like it was an era in camera phones where everything was grainy. Like
that was had the noisy photos.
You couldn't even see what the joint was, right? Like, so the photo that they had that was admitted as evidence was supposed to be a bruise on the youngin arm, but the photo was so discolored and you couldn't even make it out. I'm like, bro, like, how are you saying this is a bruise? This don't look like I can't even tell what this is, dog. This could be a video game controller for all I know. I'm like, you trying to say it's a bruise? How do you know? You're like, I can tell it's a bruise. And of course, the Bama argue me down. You already know. You already know what he was. You already, man. You already. I'm like, bro, I'm like, look. I'm like, bro, this not. So him and his buddy was trying to attack. I said, listen, it's not about what you think. It's not about what you feel. It's about what you can prove. And right now, you can't even make out the photo. So how you using that as your stake in the ground? Like, I'm like, then I told the Bama, I said, look, I'm not gonna be in here all day, bro. We already been in here 2 hours trying to deliberate. The joint open and shut case, dog. The Bama not guilty. Raise your hand if you with me. He not guilty. This is not enough evidence to convict this man and send him to jail. Everybody was like, I got like 6 hands out of the people. The Bama was like, well, I said, look, bro, you ain't gotta believe it. Majority rules, put your hand up, we done. Then the Bama was like, all right. So then we went out there. I took the card. The judge was like, did you guys come to a verdict? I was like, yes, we did, Your Honor. Not guilty. Bama raised his hand. It was a whole joint. I just
Batman Harold just admitted to a felony.
What? What you mean?
Jury tampering told the Batman, put your hand up.
I said, look, Nah, we ain't gonna be in here going back and forth all day, dog. I don't know if the Bama's trying to get an extra meal out of the joint or what. I'm like, bro, we've been in here too long. This joint is not that complex. This ain't no murder mystery. This ain't no Matlock type joint. This is a regular joint, dog. Did the Bama put hands on her? Is there evidence to say that he did? No. Let's get out of here.
So what if the Bama went home and killed the young? That's sometimes.
No, how I'ma know? He got to deal with the man upstairs. They ain't got nothing to do with me, dog. I'm just going by the evidence. That's it, bro. I never that's the thing. I know some people be like, oh, what if you let them do it? Like, no. That's not my responsibility. If the Bama gets off for doing something and the evidence allowed them to get off, like it's different if you got a video of the Bama and you see the Bama and it look like him and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh,
like R. Kelly or something.
Yeah, I'm like, that joint do look like him, dog. And then I can see the mannerisms and stuff. And you can put two and two together with a rational brain. I'm like, nah, dog, that Bama, you gotta keep him off the streets. Because even if it ain't him, if a Bama just going walking around busting, that's like just busting Bamas in broad daylight, that's a little too sensitive for me to just like let the Bama just walk if I think it's him.
He said somebody go to jail. It might not be him.
Dog, if I think this Bama is him, and it don't line up, if the times line up and all, dog, he guilty. Lock him up, dog. I don't want him in the streets. But this drink, the youngin, first of all, the youngin was up there. It sounded like she was telling stories. Well, no, not stories. She was trying to gas it up. So, like you can tell when people trying to get you to like drum you up to the whole situation they trying to present. He did this, he did that.
Trying with no tears.
But this is the thing though. I was like, okay, I can believe all that. But the mother-in-law, her mother was sitting on his side. I said, oh my. I said, either they doing freaky things. Was sitting on the black I said, either they doing freaky things or this Bama, he not guilty. She gassing it up. Then when I seen the granny photo, she was trying to like convince us that this drink was her arm and he grabbed her through the window and all like that. I said, come on now. So I just wasn't buying it, dog. You trying to sell me. That's the thing. My spider sense go off immediately for swindles, dog. I'm not getting you're not going to swindle me. Unless you like David Blaine or somebody, you can just do something magical. I'm like, oh my goodness. But I'm not just getting worked up and gassed up off the emotional roller coaster joint. Like that's not gonna work, dog. The fake tears joint, we talk about that all the time. When Babs be crying on TV and stuff, I'm like, dog, where's the water? There's no tears. It's just like they just be blinking hard. But like if you don't see real tear duct joints, I'm like, dog, do you got a soul? Like where your tears at? Where your tears? I cry at least once a month, dog.
You said you cry at least once a month.
At least once a month, dog. You gotta get a good cry in, dog. Gotta get a good cry in, dog. At least once a month, dog. Can't be holding it all in, bro. Can't do it. Anything else, Young, going on?
Nothing I can think of.
I think that's it, dog. I think that's it. Yeah. Well, me and the missus, we started therapy, going to therapy, just like for a tune-up. We've been married 10 years, so no. But I got something for us to take to the therapy session this next joint. Oh yeah, we gonna hash this joint out, though.
There's probably some budget stuff.
I'm fed up. I'm fed up.
Budget stuff. Gotta be.
I'm fed up, dog. I'm like, what? No, I can't wait till we get to that session, dog. Because I ain't even gonna say nothing about it, nothing. Till we get to this, I'm like, I have something I want to bring up in our session. Just say the drink up. I know she's gonna feel ambushed and hijacked, but I'm
gonna say ambushed and hijacked.
We need a third party because I'm gonna be mad about the drink, dog. So I'm like, nah, I want to see if I'm being unreasonable. This drink is unacceptable.
Is it a male or female therapist?
It's a male.
Oh, okay. So you might be good.
Yeah. If it was a female, I mean, I'd still be good too. But you're right. It may be a little bit
females different. In therapy is a lot of it is a scam. But that's
Why
another
you say? Hold
conversation.
on, hold on. You can't say that, dog. When we get off the show. What do you mean it's a scam?
So it's like the pharmaceutical industry in a way, where it's
Okay.
like they're not gonna give you the cure, and then they don't make no more bread off the drink for you to come back.
Okay. I get
And
that.
they don't hold each other accountable. We know that to be a fact. Like they can't, because they always empathize and see themselves in those situations. So they can,
That
the same way we could, like the example I always use, like me and Rick, we talking about, like if me and Rick come in the joint and be like, oh, I don't mess with so and so no more. What's the first thing y'all gonna say? What you do? But if a youngin go say, oh, I don't mess with so and so no more, they're gonna say, what he do? Like that's just what it is when it's dealing with men and women. And that like that applies also like in regular life. Like people are still humans.
to their framework of how they like, man. Well, this is the thing. I would think that if it was like some bias in there, because dog, your boy is smart, bro. I'm a pretty sharp knife in the drawer, especially when it comes to like emotional intelligence. I would call that out. I'll be like, you know what? I'm like, it seems like when we had these conversations, you tend to lean here.
That happens all the
Just
time in
it does. But I will be challenging and questioning. And you know what happens when you challenge and question stuff? Most times people like it's like a reverse psychology. They try to actually do the opposite when you call them out on the drink. So like my wife do it to me all the time. She'll be like, I want to tell you something, but I know like how you're gonna respond. You're gonna do. And then so then when she tell me, naturally I try to like respond the opposite way because I like prove like I'm not gonna respond like that. You know what I'm saying? It's a little subtle too. Like, I mean, don't use your powers for bad, but I'm just saying, like, it's a tool to like kind of prep people for responses and stuff. So, I mean, the dude seemed cool so far. I mean, we
Is he
just
black?
yeah, yeah. I mean, the thing is, my wife know, like, because she kind of found a therapist and stuff. If it wasn't like my speed, like, and again, it was just a trial run. Like, it wasn't no like set in stone, like this is the person we're gonna be going to. It was just like a tryout essentially. So if the joint was like, if I got like signals or signs, I'm like, oh nah. Then I just bow out. Like I'd be like, oh nah, this Batman, no, nah, he not the one. And then I would just verbalize like why, I proceeded to drink. But yeah, he seemed cool, regular. I'll let you know
Oh,
after
y'all
a
real
couple.
adults, dog. Real adults, yeah.
No, I'm just
They ain't
trying.
kids no more.
You said what?
I said Byron's ain't kids no more.
Nah, dog. We trying. Dog, marriage is hard, dog. So you want a happy drink. You gotta do work. You gotta work.
And you can't wait till the problem is already maxed out.
Nah,
All that
dog.
good.
The thing is, if you trying to make it a lifetime, dog, if you got a car and you trying to make that car last, you gotta get oil change, tune, take care of the drink. You know what I'm saying? Clean it out here and there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't let everybody ride in your whip. Like you gotta do some intentional things. So trying to make it the long haul, bro. When I got married, I was like, no, I'm not going back to the streets. This is it. That was one of the
Yourself
most
back to the streets.
clear decisions I ever made because I was like, no, I'm not. Like, this is it. If I don't want to do this, I'm not doing it. Some families feel like they have to get married or they blah blah blah. There was no pressure on my end. Like it was a decision I made, like with my mind, not my heart, not my libo, none of that. My mind. And so, yeah, bro. So I'm like, yeah, nah, this is what it is. I'm happy, dog. We got good flow, dog. Good situation.
Family made the right decision. Get out of the street.
Dog, that's it, bro. You make a right decision. That joint, that joint look like the dating game is in critical condition out that joint, dog. It look like that joint is
Y'all seen
some of this stuff I see on social media, dog. I'm like, this is how youngins think. Are you kidding me? All of this mansphere stuff where youngins be battling youngins at the table and they're just mind like it's just warped, dog. I'm like, no
It's all about to
box.
be over soon. Don't even worry about it. The end is near.
As a fact, bro. As a fact, this joint out of control. This joint out of control. Yeah. Follow us at OSS 980 at Other Side of Sports. Shout out Wiz Buffy. Shout out to Lance J. Shout out to Sports Talk Tasha.
Where's she been at?
Yeah, Florida somewhere. I need to hit her up, check on her, see how she living, dog. See how she doing. Get her on the show. See what's up. She popped up on my feed in a bathing suit like 3 days ago or something.
She
So
kicked
I
me
said,
off Instagram.
what? No, she didn't. You
Ask her.
lying, dog. You gassing.
No, that's it.
I'm gonna ask her. Yeah, nah, bro. Yeah, I keep in touch. I hit her up from every blue moon. Talk to her, but we haven't spoken. Yeah, it's been a minute, though. It's been a minute, but she look like she's doing all right. I mean, you don't really know looking from afar, but like, social media stuff. That joint Bama's can put whatever they want up. So, yeah, no. So 2 weeks, dog. Training camp is here. We gonna.
Can't wait.
I
Might be in
can't
Richmond.
wait, bro. We can go. I'm with it.
They
We
don't
can
got
do
the kind
that.
of hotels I like in Richmond, dog.
We can do it, dog. Yeah, they got the Motel 6 and the Fairfield Inn and
They're
the
about to be at the Travelers Lodge or something.
yeah,
Pretty
travel. Yeah, that
cool. Might
joint
have to
with the
get an
bed
Airbnb or
bugs. Yeah,
something.
they got bed bugs in them. You don't want to lay your head in that joint. Trust
Wait till I get
me.
the Airbnb, though.
Yeah, we can do that. Just let me know, dog. We just do a soft weekend at an Airbnb down that joint. Go to the training camp joint. Go from like a Friday to a Monday. Yeah, let me make that happen. Yeah, and then we back, dog. We back. What else? We gonna be had a Lock Factory be back up. We be back.
No, back to that fan, dude.
So
This was the smartest year I ever had by leaving the basketball alone.
dog.
I could stay up for the whole year.
Leaving the basketball alone is a clutch move. All the bread I made, dog, I donated back to these Bamas during basketball season like an idiot. But I know next time. I know, like I'm one of them type of people. This is a gift. This one gift that I do have. When I set in my mind like I'm never doing this joint ever again, or if I get like a thought where I'm like, it's really willpower, dog, but it comes from God. But be able to be like, oh, I'm never doing that ever again, or I'm not doing this. Like if I set my mind to the drink, then it just won't happen, dog. It won't happen. This year, the basketball joint, I'm not doing it, Aaron. The joint is too volatile and fugazi. They pulling strings, they doing funny business. Bama's is gambling, like refs, last second drink. No, I won't do it. Football drink, we cashed out last year, dog. First 6 weeks, we was up. First 6 weeks, we was up big. So, and that's another thing too. Like we got up big, and I was like, this joint can't keep going all throughout the whole season. And I stopped mid-season. Like after week 8, I kind of stopped and just rolled my winnings to the end. And then the playoff came, and then I like cashed in a couple more times. Yeah, we were 6-0 through 6 weeks, Aaron. Unprecedented.
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 Nowhere else. You can't find it nowhere else.
I think yeah, we were 7 weeks in before we had one losing weekend, and then after that we bounced back. So we went like 8-2 in the first. Yeah, we went 8-2 before I pulled back off the drink. Follow us at OSS 980 Other Side of Sports. It's your boy Laws and Aaron. We out.